A truck rolls over near Cedar Breaks National Monument. Former President Jimmy Carter dies at 100. And your weather forecast coming up with highs, lows, and everything you need to know for the days ahead.
You're watching St. George News at 5, brought to you by our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law.
Good afternoon, I'm Monica McLaughlin. 4 people were involved in a truck rollover near Cedar Breaks National Monument Friday evening. The Utah Highway Patrol told St. George News a Dodge Ram slid on snow along State Route 143 near mile marker 18, rolling off the road just before 5 p.m. Trooper Jared Haywood confirmed the crash caused significant damage to the truck, but all 4 occupants escaped with minor injuries. Drugs or alcohol were not factors in the crash, he said. Authorities are reminding drivers to slow down in winter conditions, avoid sudden stops or turns, and always leave extra space between vehicles. A St. George teacher is bringing holiday traditions to life in the classroom, sharing cultural diversity through celebrations like Hanukkah. Melody Theme, a 4th grade teacher at Crimson View Elementary, uses the Jewish Festival of Lights to teach her students about resilience and cultural heritage. Theme explains the history and customs of Hanukkah, such as lighting the menorah and playing dreidel, alongside traditions from around the world. Theme says sharing her heritage helps foster tolerance, while local Rabbi Mendy Cohen calls such lessons a way to bring peace and love. It's heartwarming to see how celebrating cultural traditions in the classroom can inspire young minds. Now we'll take a look at your weather forecast, brought to you by Casablanca Resort and Casino. Starting in St. George, it's currently 55 degrees with sunny skies. Tonight, temperatures will dip to a chilly 29 degrees. And tomorrow, it's sweater weather with cooler temperatures. We will see highs in the mid-50s and lows near 30. Now on to Mesquite, where it's currently sunny and 62 degrees. Tonight's low will drop to the mid-30s. Tomorrow will be sunny with highs reaching the 60s and the low dipping near 30. And finally, in Cedar City, it's a little chilly at 39 degrees right now. Tonight, temperatures will continue to fall to a low of 19. Tomorrow, expect highs in the 40s with temperatures dropping to the low 20s at night.
This past week in sports, Cedar High School will remain in the 4A classification for all activities except football, as the Utah High School Activities Association Board of Trustees finalized the statewide alignment for the 2025 through 2027 school years last Thursday. While Cedar had petitioned to drop to 3A, the board ultimately placed the Reds in 4A for most sports, but in football they'll compete in 3A South region alongside teams like Canyon View, Carbon, and Manti. Region 9 stays largely unchanged, with Cedar now the only 4A school with a 3A football schedule. This new alignment takes effect in the fall of 2025. BYU dominated number 20 Colorado 36-14 in the Alamo Bowl on Saturday night. L.J. Martin rushed for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Jake Ratzloff passed for 151 yards to lead the Cougars to their second straight bowl victory. BYU's defense held Colorado to just 210 total yards, with only 2 rushing yards while forcing 3 sacks and 2 interceptions. Maury Bamba and Isaiah Glasgow were the standouts, with Glasgow earning defensive MVP honors. Parker Kingston's 64-yard punt return for a touchdown helped set the tone early. The Cougars' impressive performance sends them into the 2025 season with momentum. Now back to you, Monica.
Former President Jimmy Carter has died at the age of 100. The Carter Center announced his death yesterday at his home in Plains, Georgia, where he was surrounded by family. Carter, the longest-living U.S. president, is remembered for his humanitarian efforts, his post-presidency advocacy for peace and democracy, and winning the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. Public services are planned in Atlanta and Washington, with a private burial in Plains. The Three Falls Trail in Hurricane offers hikers a stunning canyon adventure with caves, rugged terrain, and the possibility of viewing 3 desert waterfalls. Alicia Lundgren takes us on this breathtaking journey in the latest episode of Discover the Desert, exploring the beauty and challenges of this hidden gem.
Welcome back to Discover the Desert. We're here at Three Falls Trailhead, which, if you can't tell, has 3 waterfalls. This sign shows you how far each waterfall is from the trailhead. So let's check it out. The Three Falls Trailhead is at the base of the Hurricane Cliff. So one of the formations that you're going to see here, some of the limestone, is part of the fossil mountain member of the Kaibab Formation. And you might see aquatic fossils like brachiopods. So the Kaibab Formation was deposited about 270 million years ago, when the whole area was covered in a shallow tropical sea and coastal flats that were located at the western coast of the supercontinent Pangaea. We're just above the first fall, and it's so nice and cool right here. It's a great place to stop, relax, and listen to the natural soundscape. This trail takes you along the creek bed and over rugged terrain, so wear sturdy shoes with good traction and bring plenty of water and snacks. We made it to the third waterfall, and it's just a trickle right now, which isn't that abnormal because how much it flows really depends on how much moisture we've gotten down here in southern Utah. And a desert waterfall is really a rare sight. But regardless, it's gorgeous out here and so worth the walk. I love canyon adventures, and Three Falls has been no exception. We live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. So get outside and discover the desert.
From all of us here, thank you for watching St. George News at 5. To learn more about our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law, go to wewininjurylaw.com. I'm Monica McLaughlin with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5, brought to you by We Win Injury Law.